Today I showed you what an Internet Journal source card would look like written on a source card, and it's something like this, right? It says type of source, Internet Journal at the top. It would have in the upper right hand corner the source number. This we said was source 2. It would have the author. It would have the title. It would have the title of the article, publisher, and how you'd cite it. There is no publisher or date, right? It would have it would say where you found it, here on the web, or it could say online, and it'd give you the date and the URL. I also told you yesterday that you had to write a note card to go with the source card, and that the note card had to have a topic at the top, like the problem with testing. It also had to have an idea with it that all students are supposed to be successful, as mine here. I found a quote that said that we want them to achieve positive outcomes. And then I also wrote, all students cannot achieve positive outcomes if they are over-tested, because this is the point that I'm trying to make in my paper, and it's what Gable also makes as well. So this is how this right here is how I might be able to use it in my paper. Alright? You can use paper cards. They're perfect, they're fine, they're easy to keep track of, they're definitely easy for me to count. But I also told you that I'd show you a different way to do note cards. So I want to kind of give you that heads up now and see if we can make some sense out of this. So this is how to make MLA PowerPoint bibliography and note cards, or source cards. In fact, why don't we just change this and we'll say source cards, source and note cards, alright? And the purpose of the PowerPoint, as you'll see as you read through it, is to show you how to use an electronic note-taking technique that you can use on a pad, you can use it on your computer, you can even use it on your phone. All of this is possible. Probably easier on an iPad. And when you go into presentation mode or PowerPoint mode, you can easily view sort, slide sorter, you can move cards around. It also lets you create an outline, right? Because if I click over here on the tab, I get outline view, and I can save it. We'll get to that later. Anyway, so the other thing that's kind of great about using PowerPoint to do note cards is that you can print out the cards as individual pages or individual cards. You can make a handout with them. You can print quite a few to a screen. It's also easier to copy quotes and paste them directly onto the card so that you aren't fumbling around writing all this out, that you have a way to look at this and take it anywhere with you. And you can save all these things on Google Docs too, right? And I'll show you how to do that in another presentation. So, you want to set up your card. So every time you choose a source, you have to make a source card. Then from that source card, you make a note card. I prefer BibMe because it's what I use. Some of you guys have used EasyBib. There's 6 of one, half dozen of another. They both generate the exact same source, okay? And it's pretty easy. So, how to set up your citation. You can go to either one. BibMe looks like this. EasyBib looks like this. If you're using an internet source, and most of the sources we're going to use are internet sources, and you'll paste the URL into the space, and you'll click load. Alright, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. You'll set up your cards by cutting and pasting either this information right here, or this information down here. You copy the citation, you paste it. If you have a book, it would look something like this, right? But to prove it to you, let's go to EasyBib and see what this might look like, yeah? So, BibMe, and in fact, I'll close that out. Let's go here, BibMe, and search. And let's go to MLA APA because I know that's what I'm using. Go to Bibliography Maker. And we're going to do a book because that's what Stovall wrote. So James Stovall, because I know that's the author's name, and writing for mass media. Let's go ahead and select that. What am I citing? I'm citing the entire book, not just a chapter from the book, okay? Am I citing an edition? I am not. And I want to add it to my bibliography. And I have it right here. I want to say copy. I want to go to my PowerPoint. And notice that there are a couple ways, and we'll go ahead and get it. We have this edition here. This is the one that I found. We'll paste it. That was the original one, right? Save it right like that. The 7th edition, 2008. Alright, 6 of them, and again. So, there are a couple ways that you can set these up. You can choose one of two layouts. You can choose a whole card layout like this, or you can choose a split screen. I prefer a split screen, and there are a few reasons why, and I'm going to show you why it's so much easier to choose a split screen. So once you have your citation, copy it, paste it onto the slide, and to the left, and now I'll show you why I prefer the split screen. So let's suppose I'm actually working on my research paper, and I found an article from the University of Minnesota on fostering success in school, and even beyond, for students with emotional and behavioral disorders, right? This is from Impact. There's a full issue. I just want this one article. I'm going to take my URL. I'm going to click copy. I'm going to go to BibMe. I'm going to go to website. I'm going to get rid of the HTTP. I'm going to put my paste my URL into the box. I'm going to load the info. I have my bibliography here. The date I accessed it was 10/31. Doesn't say the date it was created. And let's add that to my bibliography. Notice no publisher, no date, and we can just take all that. We can copy it, go into my presentation, I can click paste. There's my URL, and if I go back to my article, maybe the idea that I want to say is this right here, that today's K through 12 schools, educators must effectively work with increasingly diverse populations, and that includes students with emotional and behavioral disorders, right? It's a challenging task for quite a few reasons. Let's just start with that. General idea. So I go here, I go to my presentation, and I can click paste, and notice now I have ICI, which is how they told me to cite this, Institute on Community Integration, from the Impact newsletter, and I'm set. That's a source. This is a source. This is my note card. Easy enough, right? Now look. The other things that you need to be able to do when you're setting these up is split things up by topic. And that's the other reason why I like using the split screen. So let's suppose my topic is testing. And let's suppose again that I go back to my sources. Or let's say it's 21st century skills, buzzwords, alright? Maybe that'll be easier for this one since I have it right here. let's go to BibMe and let's create my note card. So copy, BibMe, and again, cover up that HTTP, paste the whole thing, load the info, Mike Rose, good, 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 and let's add that to my bibliography. Alright, and we'll take this, let's copy it, let's create my split screen again, right? To content, my topic here, what are 21st century skills? Let's go ahead and click, get rid of the bullet, click paste, and let's go back now. What are 21st century skills? And let's go back to our article, because there is something that I want to take from that. And Rose says that 21st century skills aren't new, and that it's kind of wrong to imply that they are. So I want to take this quote right here. The characterization of these skills implies that they haven't been taught before. Do you really think nothing's ever been taught before? No, it's just a buzzword, right? So we're going to just paste that. We're also going to go ahead and we're going to say that this is Rose now. Simple as that. Okay? And we're good. The characterization, and this is a direct quote. You can then work with this to figure out how exactly you would want to use it. Me personally, I might type underneath note, if I can learn how to type. Century skills are not new, just valuable now. Alright? Rose also goes on to say that it's about economics. Alright? When you're done with all your note cards, and you put all your sources here, so look, you can put your sources for each note card. You have a source, right? I would keep them organized. If you have something else from Rose, I would go ahead, copy Rose, so that you know that you have it. Go to Layout, go to Content, paste him again, 21st century and add your quote. What other quote would you use in your paper? And you might look here and see what exactly he's calling 21st century skills, whether they're useful, and he does come up with a list, but he also thinks that it's kind of ironic that we're trying to reform education with a skill set that really is economic more than it is anything else. It's valuable just for the right now. So you would take another quote, put it in there, and be done with it. Now, when your presentation's ready to be organized, go to this bottom slide sorter right here, and notice that you can move your cards around. So no matter what your paper looks like, if you have 100 cards, now you can move these around into the position that you need them to be in. You know who your sources are, you know what your notes are, you slide the whole thing together. You can then take another slide, put it here to actually type and figure out what you want to say, right? So you would go back, add your text for that part of the paper, Go back to your slide sorter, make sure it's right, and when you're done and you're ready to print your outline, you have an outline right here that prints it all in order for you. Okay? So I hope this helps. I'm going to post this to my YouTube channel, and I'll answer any questions you have, but make sure you watch this all the way through before you come to me with questions, okay? Thanks for watching.